Sure. So, for a lot of Wisconsin's history, a lot of rural American history, small farms, family farms, co-ops really dominated the food system. And I think up until about the 1980s, the sort of large farm bust and following recession that happened after that really upended a lot of that system. And through trade deals and just the kind of increasing privatization push of, conservatives and people on the right, we really began to move towards policies and systems that incentivized and subsidized the growth of factory farms. This sort of philosophy of go big or get out, right? So we see that in Wisconsin. I think, I don't have the exact number, but in the last decade, maybe half, three quarters of family farms, especially dairies, which dominate Wisconsin, have shuttered, while milk production, while cattle has gone up. But it's just increasingly been swallowed up by these factory farms that have 10, 25,000 cows. And you see it in areas like Kewaunee County, especially, which is on the eastern, northeastern side of Wisconsin. Not only are farms swallowing up the land, swallowing up the resources, the subsidies, not only are these lobby groups in the state house working with national leaders to continue creating these policies that only work to starve farms and grow these larger farms, but because they're just destroying the land, they're extracting the land. That alone is driving farmers out of business, driving them out of the state. In southwestern Wisconsin, in Crawford, and in northwestern Wisconsin, in Polk and Burnett County, you have farmers who fled Iowa because of the explosion of hog CAFOs there that sought refuge in this kind of untapped area and are now looking to move again as these larger farms are coming in. So it's a mix of that, and then, especially in the state of Wisconsin, this series of deregulatory laws that have been enacted dating back to 2004, the livestock sighting law, that essentially strip control from communities, from local governments, essentially stripping them from the ability to have a say in if a large farm can even come to their community, let alone where it can be, how much manure it can spread, under the justification that communities don't have the resources to conduct research to make these laws themselves. They don't know any better. Leave it to the hands of this kind of one governing body and creating a one-size-fits-all series of regulations that is inadequate in any sense, but especially in places like Crawford, as I think Forrest would be a great person to talk more at length about this. It's really just starved communities and left them susceptible to the intrusion of these farms with very little recourse.